difficulties he does his work, his different thinking. But what happened after a point of time was the government becomes frustrated. Despite giving so much, the engine is not getting ready. So they stop the fund. Charles Babbage passionately makes an appeal. In that letter, he writes few things. It is very interesting for me. It says, "You are weighing science with gold." They are asking, what is the use if at all this machine is done with all this much money poured in? And he is saying, now you have started weighing science with gold. And he says, okay, I accept that I am not an engineer. So he puts two petitions. One, asking the Royal Institute of Civil Engineers to make the estimation of how much time and money it would take to make such a machine based on his drawings. The Royal Society of Civil Engineers should estimate how much effort and money would it take to make the machine. One. Second, the Royal Institute of Mechanical Engineers, based on his drawings, should tell whether such a machine is makeable. He makes these two requests. I think he was making mockery. When the whole society stood against him, doubting his qualifications and other things, he was challenging the engineering community. If you are so great, you estimate. You estimate how much it would take to make such a machine and whether it is possible to make it. He was indirectly making a mockery. And I think, this is my imagination, somebody should write this story. One dark night, I think, Charles Babbage was so frustrated by this engineering community that I think he cursed the engineering community. That you engineers, let you never be able to estimate your works properly. That I call as Babbage's curse. Somebody should write a story. Title will be Babbage's curse. See, even today, no engineer, especially the computer and software engineers, no one can give you the estimate. We can't. You ask anyone what is the most difficult thing in software engineering? Estimation. We can't estimate. If you tell me that I want a software with 1, 2, 3 features, I can't tell you how much money it takes to build this. I can't. I think this is Babbage's curse. Because you know how much money it ultimately took to decide that this project cannot be continued. Started with 1,000 pounds. Where do you think it ended? 37,000 pounds. 37 pounds was invested on this. And after that, the half of which was from Babbage's own fortunes. It was decided, enough is enough. We are not going to continue this mission. Then, see this Babbage guy, how brave he is. This experience did not stop him. He came with one more improved idea. Difference engine number 2, he got it. In England, he did not get support. He got his support from Italy. He got the support from Italy, and parts of this difference engine 2 was made during his lifetime. In fact, in England, he was ridiculed completely. Because by that time, Charles Babbage was pictured as this eccentric genius. He also didn't do any good for himself. He had some strange ideas. One of his strange ideas was that he will devise such a footwear using which he could walk on water. He made this idea public, and what would public react? He actually gives the description of how that footwear should be and all that. There are legends that he tried those things also, doing that. He was not successful. See his eccentric lists are very long. In one more case, he wanted to find out that given a piece of glass, if it is broken, can we mathematically calculate as to how much number of pieces it will break into? This was the obsession. That is, you throw a stone to glass, the mass of the stone is known, the distance with which you are throwing the stone, you can calculate the force. So if you throw the glass, a stone with this force, how much number of pieces will it break into? It seems to glasses after glasses, dropping it, counting the number of pieces, noting it down to make a mathematical formula. How do people react? And this was the same way it was again coming up and saying, I will make this engine. See, this is what happens. His most famous eccentric behavior, he actually noted down about what he called as street nuisances. He was a man of high living, and he hated all these people who were playing music on the streets. He actually counted them, from what origins they came from, which nations they belonged to, for how many period in the day they were playing that, and all that, and made a long report and submitted to God. He was a man who believed too much in mathematics, numbers and all, for everything he was calculating on. And he made a passionate appeal, and he was a member of Lords, so he even passed a law, tried to pass a law to stop all these street nuisance. He was such a man. And it is said that he died a very unfortunate death. When he was lying there sick in his deathbed, all the street musicians who wanted to take revenge came in front of his house and started playing music. The utter irritation of that man. They say he died a very painful death. So ultimately, this is the legacy of the man. So this man, see his bravery, he comes up again with the idea of difference engine number 2. According to what we know, this project even didn't start. Parts of it were made. In 1990s, we have to check the records once again. I'm not very sure the exact year. Somewhere in 1990s, in some university, some brave professor tried to take the original drawings which are available today and recreate the machine. And I read long back that that experiment was actually successful. Because technology has improved a lot these days, people try to recreate the machine which Charles Babbage wanted to design. And they say the machine actually works. But the technology at that time was so poor that nobody could make such a machine. So that was his bed. Difference engine didn't start. But by that time, he was touring different parts of Europe. Because his health was not good, basically. And there, he saw the new kind of weaving machines. And inspired by that, he improved his difference engine by adding one input device and an output device and improving the machine to not only calculate the tables but to do general arithmetic operations. That machine was called analytical engine. That is the actual contribution of Charles Babbage. That machine for the first time had all the 3 components: the input, the process and the output. Output device was printer. Before anybody could think of a device called as printer, Charles Babbage gave the drawings of this printer. People say that that machine actually should have worked, but for the technology of that time it didn't.